Welcome back to my 100% playthrough of Dragon Age Origins. So getting straight into it, we have quite a bit to do today. So let's start with talking to Duncan to complete my quests.
So you returned from the wilds. Have you been successful?
We have.
Good. I've had the Circle mages preparing. With the blood you've retrieved, we can begin the joining immediately.
Now will you tell us what this ritual is about?
I will not lie. We Grey Wardens pay a heavy price to become what we are. Fate may decree that you pay your price now, rather than later.
I have no problem facing what is to come.
I agree. Let's have it done.
Then let us begin. Alistair, take them to the old temple.
The more I hear about this joining, the less I like it.
Are you blubbering again?
Why all these damn tests? Have I not earned my place?
Maybe it's tradition. Maybe they're just trying to annoy you.
Calm down, there's nothing we can do about it now.
I only know that my wife is in Highover with a child on the way. If they had warned me, it just doesn't seem fair.
Would you have come if they'd warned you? Maybe that's why they don't. The Wardens do what they must, right?
Including sacrificing us?
I'd sacrifice a lot more if I knew it would end the Blight.
You make a good point.
You saw those Darkspawns tonight. Wouldn't you die to protect your pretty wife from them? Maybe you'll die. Maybe we'll all die. If nobody stops the Darkspawn, we'll die for sure.
I've just never faced a foe I could not engage with my blade.
At last we come to the joining. The Grey Wardens were founded during the First Blight, when humanity stood on the verge of annihilation. So it was that the first Grey Wardens drank of Darkspawn blood and mastered their taint.
We're going to drink the blood of those creatures.
As the first Grey Wardens did before us, as we did before you. This is the source of our power and our victory.
Those who survive the joining become immune to the taint. We can sense it in the Darkspawn and use it to slay the Archdemon.
Let's get on with it then.
We speak only a few words prior to the joining, but these words have been said since the first. Alistair, if you would.
Join us, brothers and sisters. Join us in the shadows where we stand vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. And should you perish, know that your sacrifice will not be forgotten. And that one day, we shall join you.
Davith, step forward.
Maker's breath.
I am sorry, Davith. Step forward, Jory.
But I have a wife, a child.
There is
Had I
no
known...
turning back.
No, you ask too much. There is no glory in this.
I am sorry. But the joining is not yet complete. You are called upon to submit yourself to the taint for the greater good. From this moment forth, you are a Grey Warden. It is finished. Welcome.
2 more deaths. In my joining, only one of us died, but it was horrible. I'm glad at least one of you made it through.
How do you feel?
Nothing you said prepared me for that.
Such is what it takes to be a Grey Warden.
Did you have dreams? I had terrible dreams after my joining.
Such dreams come when you begin to sense the Darkspawn, as we all do. That and many other things can be explained in the months to come.
Before I forget, there is one last part to your joining. We take some of that blood and put it in a pendant. Something to remind us of those who didn't make it this far.
Take some time. When you're ready, I'd like you to accompany me to a meeting with the king.
Very well.
The meeting is to the west, down the stairs. Please attend as soon as you're able.
Okay, there's the joining. We have leveled up from that, and we also got an item which I think I'm going to equip. The Warden's Oath is +2 Constitution. Let's use that, because I'm a little worried about how frail this character is at the moment. That's all good though. Okay, level up. Speaking of, I do want more magic. Let's put you to 26, and I'm going to chuck 1 in willpower. Okay, 26 lets us get Cone of Cold, so let's do that. But we do get 2 spells this level, which is quite cool. So come down here, and could get Spell Might. Which is actually what I think I'm going to do. Spell Might is a sustained spell that kind of makes your other spells more powerful while it's active, so it's kind of useful. There we go, play. So I'm going to move these around a little bit. I want Cone of Cold to be down here. And the rest of that's fine for now. Okay, sweet. Just check if we got any Codex entries. Here. Cool, we've just got the quest after the joining. No new codexes, so that's fine. Let's keep going. I'm jumping in here with my Dwarf Noble character, because I realised there's actually a codex entry I missed in my main playthrough. So, if we come into this kennel here, there is a note on the ground. Let's have a look at that. Dogs in Ferelden. Alright, let's give it a quick read. I am frequently asked, during my travels in other lands, to explain the dogs omnipresent in Ferelden. Inevitably, I tell my foreign questioners that there are no more dogs in my homeland than in their own. In every civilized corner of Thedas, an astute observer will notice dogs employed in hunting game, keeping barns and storehouses free of vermin, herding livestock, guarding homes, and even used as beasts of burden in the mountains. It is simply that Fereldans show appreciation for the work that our dogs do, and perhaps the reason for that is tangled up in mythology. Haftar, the first man to be named Tern, the hero whom united our Alamari ancestors to drive back the Darkspawn of the Second Blight, was reputed to be the son of a werewolf. Now perhaps this was meant to be some comment on his temperament, or simply a way of making a great man even larger than life, but more than half of the noble families of Ferelden claim to be descendants of Haftar, and consequently many of our people believe that they have some distant kinship with wolves. It is only good manners to be polite to one's kin. From In Pursuit of Knowledge to Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genetivi. Quite an interesting codex entry there about the use of dogs like the Mabari in Ferelden. But anyway, back to our main playthrough. Actually turn off frost weapons. And I might keep Spell Might active, it's kind of always useful.
Loghain, my decision is final. I will stand by the Grey Wardens in this assault.
You risk too much, Kalen. The Darkspawn Horde is too dangerous for you to be playing hero on the front lines.
If that's the case, perhaps we should wait for the Orlesian forces to join us after all.
I must repeat my protest to your fool notion that we need the Orlesians to defend ourselves.
It is not a fool notion. Our arguments with the Orlesians are a thing of the past, and you will remember who is king.
How fortunate Marek did not live to see his son ready to hand Ferelden over to those who enslaved us for a century.
Then our current forces will have to suffice, won't they? Duncan, are your men ready for battle?
They are, Your Majesty.
And this is the recruit I met earlier on the road? I understand congratulations are in order.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Every Grey Warden is needed now. You should be honored to join their ranks.
Your fascination with glory and legends will be your undoing, Kalen. We must attend to reality.
Fine. Speak your strategy. The Grey Wardens and I draw the Darkspawn into charging our lines, and then?
You will alert the tower to light the beacon, signaling my men to charge from
To
cover.
flank the Darkspawn, I remember. This is the Tower of Ishal in the ruins, yes? Well, who shall light this beacon?
I have a few men stationed there. It's not a dangerous task, but it is vital.
Then we should send our best. Send Alistair and the new Grey Warden to make sure it's done.
I'll do my best, Your Majesty.
You rely on these Grey Wardens too much. Is that truly wise?
Enough of your conspiracy theories, Loghain. Grey Wardens battle the Blight no matter where they're from.
Your Majesty, you should consider the possibility of the Archdemon appearing.
There have been no signs of any dragons in the wilds.
Isn't that what your men are here for, Duncan?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, the tower and its beacon are unnecessary. The
We
Circle
will
of
not
Magi...
trust any lives to your spells, Mage. Save them for the Darkspawn.
Enough! This plan will suffice. The Grey Wardens will light the beacon.
Thank you, Loghain. I cannot wait for that glorious moment. The Grey Wardens battle beside the King of Ferelden to stem the tide of evil.
Yes, Kalen. A glorious moment for us all.
You heard the plan. You and Alistair will go to the Tower of Ishal and ensure the beacon is lit.
What? I won't be in the battle.
This is by the King's personal request, Alistair. If the beacon is not lit, Tern Loghain's men won't know when to charge.
So he needs 2 Grey Wardens standing up there holding the torch, just in case, right?
I'm ready to go.
Yes, so am I.
You'll need to cross the gorge and head through the gate and up to the tower entrance. From the top, you'll overlook the entire valley.
When do we light the beacon?
We will signal you when the time is right. Alistair will know what to look for.
I know what I have to do.
Then I must join the others. From here, you two are on your own. Remember, you are both Grey Wardens. I expect you to be worthy of that title.
Duncan, may the Maker watch over you.
May he watch over us all.
Okay, so we've got our task for the Battle of Ostagar. There's not really anything to do, so we might as well head straight to the Tower of Ishal. Now, the tower's fairly easy to find because it's just over this really long bridge.
The plan will work, Your Majesty.
Of course it will. The Blight ends here. For Ferelden! Let's cross the bridge and get Ishal.
Okay, here we are. So, the Battle of Ostagar. Those blasts on the bridge can knock you down, which is kind of annoying. We actually got quite lucky there in not getting knocked down at all. Now here you are joined by a couple of random soldiers.
What are you talking about, man? Taken how?
The Darkspawn came up through the lower chambers. They're everywhere. Most of our men are dead.
Then we have to get to the beacon and light it ourselves.
Yep, so we've just been joined by a couple of random soldiers, tower guard and soldier. These do change depending on exactly which origin you're using. So we've got the mage, so we've got 2 soldiers to help us out, or, you know, 2 melee fighters. If you are not a mage, then one of these guys will be a mage, so you will always have a mage with you. I've switched over to my human noble character very quickly, just to point out that they get slightly different companions to the other origins, because the difference is they have the dog. Now the Mabari is of course obtained during the origin story. Other characters will get the Mabari later, at least they will if they help the sick dog. But that means that our only companion here is the Circle Mage. But that is really good because it helps out against the final battle in the tower, having a mage here, and I wasn't sure if you got the mage or if you got one of the soldier characters. But anyway, just thought I'd pop in to point out that the dog, well, the Mabari that I've now named Dog, is with us at this point. So that is a slight difference for the human noble going through the Tower of Ishal in the Battle of Ostagar. But for now, swap back to the main playthrough. So as he said, we're going to have to fight our way through because the tower's been taken by the Darkspawn. So let us try out this.
No mercy!
Well, perhaps melee fight is the wrong word. I noticed this guy is actually an archer, so that's alright.
Time for some fun.
Take that! Let's grab some glory!
You can search around here. There's no particularly good items you need to grab, but you can loot various chests and crates for some random loot. Unfortunately, none of the guys you get here are rogues, so you cannot unlock locked objects. So anything locked, if you're not a rogue yourself, you're just going to have to ignore it and move on. But as you can see, all of this stuff has pretty minor loot in it. Random weapons, occasionally a potion or so, that's kind of about it.
As you wish. On it.
The spell might's ended. Oh.
Let's make this quick, shall we?
And she's going cold. Now, unfortunately, I actually froze my own guys there, Alistair and the soldier. But still, Cone of Cold's really cool. It gives me an AoE spell, so area of effect. And you see, I actually got a Codex entry there, Shattering. We will have a look at that in a second. This particular Codex entry is one of the reasons I actually wanted to play a mage for this playthrough. Because there is a section of Codex entries called Spell Combinations. Now, you can do this with just your mage companions. But having your main character as a mage as well kind of gives you a few more options, just makes it a little bit easier to get the spells required to get all 10 of these Codex entries, which is rather difficult. Of these, Shattering is the easiest to get for sure, because you can, as we saw, get it by accident. So, Shattering. A creature frozen or petrified by magic, as from the spells Petrify or Cone of Cold, is in a vulnerable state, subject to Shattering if excessive force is applied to just the right spot. A critical hit from any weapon may suffice, and the spells Stone Fist and Crushing Prison have been known to achieve the effect as well. So, what happened there is I used Cone of Cold, froze a whole bunch of enemies, and then I'm guessing one of these guys managed to land a critical hit on a frozen enemy, which is essentially a one-hit KO. If that happens, they will die instantly. I believe certain higher ranked creatures are immune to the Shattering effect, but any low ranked creatures hit by it will instantly die. So it can be a useful effect, and there are spells, not spells, there are skills, warrior and rogue skills that do guarantee a critical hit, so you can use them in combination if you want to.
Only one shall stand. No quarter.
There's a Herlock Alpha, unfortunately. I'm actually going to drink a potion then. I was kind of saving them, but this guy's going to be annoying if I can't use my spells.
You're mine.
Perfect. Okay. Gives us a chance to regenerate our health and magic.
Right.
There's a chest here. This one's locked. So like I said, I don't think any of these guys are rogues. No, they're not. I figure I might as well check. No, they're not. So you can't open anything locked if your own character is not a rogue. Right, let's head inside.
This should be easy.
Yeah, now there's a big fight just inside here. There is a tramp. Without a rogue, you can't actually disarm it, so we're just going to set it off. It's kind of hesitating. Where is it? There it is. Yep. It's an oil trap, and one of these guys in here, there's a lot of enemies as you can see, but one of them, I believe, is a, Genlock Emissary, so we need to take him out fast, or he's going to be really annoying with his magic. So let us just use the Mana Cleanse on him. And I'm actually also going to use Mana Drain. Cool. Oh, I actually got him. I thought I missed. That's handy. Mana Drain? Because why not?
Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance?
I really need to heal, please. Thank you. There we go, got him. Okay, while I've been doing that, these other guys have been dealing with these archers quite nicely. It's fine.
Time for some fun. This should be easy enough. Stay still. Excellent.
I think we work well together.
Cool, is that everyone? I think so.
Let's get started.
I do believe we got a codex update, and it was probably for the Genlock Emissary, because I think it's the first one of those we found. Genlock, yes. So the most intelligent of the Alphas become gifted sorcerers with many abilities akin to blood magic. These are the emissaries, and they usually only appear during a blight. Perfect.
On it.
Yeah, I think that was everything, so let's continue on. Okay. Cone of gold, I think, please.
Watch it!
Time for some fun. Show me what you've got.
I am rather low on health, but not too worried as these guys aren't actually focusing on me right now. That's
Only
good.
one shall stand. Time for some fun. I need healing. Only one shall stand.
Cool, perfect. All dealt with. Again, locked chest, can't open that. These health potions will certainly come in useful though, especially because I haven't actually taken the spell heal, which is useful and I do recommend it for all mages. I just kind of haven't gotten around to it. I should probably actually take it maybe next level. We'll see how things go though.
This should be easy enough.
Wooden chest. Now that silver bracelet is another gift like the bone we found earlier. It's a lot more of a useful gift though, because the silver bracelet can be given to anyone for a flat +5 approval. Not going to worry about it right now though. Everyone's healed up? Yep, let's keep going.
Cursed creatures.
Okay, just genlocks. Always worth checking, you never know when you'll run into a mage.
You're mine. Let's make this quick, shall we?
Okay, locked chest over there, nothing else. So let's head up to the next floor.
Maker's breath. What are these Darkspawn doing ahead of the rest of the Horde? There wasn't supposed to be any resistance here.
Why attack the tower at all? Unless they knew the plan.
Now that's a scary thought. They couldn't know about the plan. How? They're not that smart, are they? At any rate, we need to hurry. We need to get up to the top of the tower and light the signal fire in time. Taron Loghain will be waiting for the signal.
Okay. Let's have a look around. Now this next part, there's a door on either side. You should actually go into these and clear out the enemies in them, otherwise they will join a larger battle later and make it a lot harder for you. Whereas this way you can kind of take them off one by one. See, like that, pretty easy. And just 2 Hurlocks by themselves are not an issue, but if you let them join a much larger force, they can be a lot more dangerous. Because I've certainly had that issue in the past. And here's some Genlocks. I've switched over to my human noble character because there is another codex entry I missed here. I will tell you right now, in my main playthrough, I missed 3 in the entire game. We've already seen 1, the second one was right here. It's unfortunate that 2 of the ones I missed were right at the start of the game. But anyway, it is this one over here, the discarded book, that we are, I should point out, on the 2nd floor of the tower. Although I'm probably not entirely sure how this finished footage will look, but I'll probably put it in the right place. Anyway, the discarded book right here, The History of the Chantry, Chapter 1. So if we'll have a quick read of that. The first blight devastated the Tevinter Imperium. Not only had the Darkspawn ravaged the countryside, but Tevinter citizens had to face the fact that their own gods had turned against them. Dumat, the old god, once known as the Dragon of Silence, had risen to silence the world, and despite the frenzied pleas for help, the other old gods did nothing. The people of the Imperium began to question their faith, murdering priests and burning temples to punish their gods for not returning to help. In those days, even after the devastation of the First Blight, the Imperium stretched across the known world. Fringed with barbarian tribes, the Imperium was well prepared for invasions and attacks from without. Fitting, then, that the story of its downfall begins from within. The people of the far north and eastern reaches of the Imperium rose up against their powerful overlords in rebellion. The Tevinter Magisters summoned demons to put down these small rebellions, leaving corpses to burn as examples to all who would dare revolt. The Imperium began to tear itself apart from within, throngs of angry and disillusioned citizens doing what centuries of opposing armies could not. But the Magisters were confident in their power, and they could not imagine surviving a blight only to be destroyed by their own subjects. Even after the blight, Tevinter commanded an army larger than that of any other organized nation in Thedas. But that army was scattered, and its morale dwindling. The ruin of Tevinter was such that the Alamari barbarians, who had spread their clans and holds over the wilderness of the Ferelden Valley at the far southeast edge of the Imperium, saw weakness in their enemy, and, after an age of oppression, embarked on a campaign not only to free their own lands, but to bring down mighty Tevinter as well. The leaders of that blessed campaign were the great barbarian warlord Maferath and his wife Andraste. Their dreams and ambitions would change the world forever. The Tales of the Destruction of Thedas by Brother Genetivi, Chantry Scholar. Perfect, so that is the kind of the start of the Chantry, and also sort of the start of Ferelden as well, or at least what the Chantry how the Chantry believes it started. So an interesting piece of lore there. It's unfortunate I missed it with my main character, but there we have it. So for now, we will swap back to my main character. Through here, you will see a couple of ballistae. Oh, that's locked. Yeah, a couple of ballistae. You can use this to take out some enemies if you're a bit strategic with it. Those guys there, let's shoot them. Not sure if they actually hit anyone. That's fine. You can do it though. Okay, I'm actually going to deal with these archers, I think. Oh no, there's more in the back. Never mind. Yeah, this is the fight that the other Hurlocs and Genox can join. So taking them out first, definitely the smarter option. Okay, let's deal with these guys. I've got walking bomb. And then kind of cold. Oh, I don't have mana for it. That's fine, I'll drink that. There you go. That's kind of a really good thing about walking bomb. Situations like that are what it's perfect for. Okay.
On it. This should be easy. Let's get started.
There's another level up. Awesome.
On your guard!
This part takes forever. Oh no, you don't!
Here we go!
Cool.
This should be easy.
So as you can see, this tower is pretty basic. You just go room to room, clearing the enemies as you go. There's honestly not really much else to it. There's not many things of particular interest. And here we go.
Better be ready to charge as soon as we light the signal. The king is depending on us.
Oh, actually, before we go any further, I'll deal with this level up. I am actually finding lack of magic to be a bit of an issue, so let's just use all the points to get willpower up there. Here I can go expert coercion. I actually do want to think about this one though, because there are a couple of other things I need to grab at some point. I can't remember. I think it's trap making I need to grab, so let's do that instead. It may seem like a weird choice, but there is a method to my madness. Okay, I could grab Death Siphon. It's another sustained spell. Probably won't use it too much. Like I said, I do want to grab Animate Dead eventually. The other thing we could do, of course, is grab the heal spell, and I might actually do that for now. Yeah, we'll do that. Heal's always useful, so that's fine. Okay. It's kind of cold. Okay, I got an achievement there. I think that one's for killing Darkspawn, but we'll have a look at it in a second.
Let's make this quick, shall we?
Okay. Loot bodies.
Let's get started.
Let's have a look at that achievement. Grey Warden for killing 100 Darkspawn. Apparently we've done that already. Awesome. Wouldn't have guessed we've killed that many, but I guess between Gorkari Wilds and what we've killed in the tower so far, it must have been. Certainly were a lot of Genlocks and Hurlocks. Okay, fine. Righty, let's keep going.
Let's get started.
Now this room, you can actually help yourself out by coming here to the cage release and using this to release the dogs, who will help you in the fight against the Darkspawn.
On your guard!
Could also be useful later on the floor. If you are having trouble with a fight, just run back here to kind of draw the Darkspawn back to this area, and the dogs will help you with them as well. There's another Genlock Alpha. Actually, I don't think we'd found a Genlock Alpha before. Alphas, in a group of Genlocks, there is usually one who is dominant. As the tallest, strongest and smartest of their kind, Alphas serve as a sort of commander, directing or bullying the others in combat. Cool, interesting. Let's loot him. Warden Recruit Shield. Interesting. I thought I would just switch over to my Dwarf Commoner character who is a rogue just for a second, just so we can have a look what is in this locked chest. Most of the locked chests in the Tower of Ishal just hold random loot, nothing particularly special. If you are a rogue, this is the room with the dogs in it. Make sure you come over here and unlock this particular chest, because it does have the war paint of the Wolfhound, a unique piece of armor for your dog once you get your Mabari companion anyway. Just thought I would spend the time to come over there and point that out. That's all for this now, so let's head back over to my main character.
Let's get started.
Oh, you'll see these Darkspawn from the other room overheard the battle, so they came to join in. Actually, might walking bomb this one, I think. There we go. Killed a bunch of them, and then these ones here. Remember, even though I think it does affect your allies, they only take half damage at normal difficulty level from your spells, so it can still be worth hitting them with it because it's going to hurt the enemies a lot more. And you see here the dogs are actually hopping out. They've taken down another Darkspawn over there. But this is what I mean, you can run back there if you're having trouble with this fight and the dogs will help you out with it. Perfect. Got there eventually though. Alistair also got a level up, so we'll deal with that.
On it.
Okay, I am actually going to give him some Constitution and another point in Strength. Alright, for this one I'll just unlock Master Combat Training, might as well. I haven't really mentioned it, but for Warriors and Rogues, you need to get the next level of this to unlock their next level of skills, so you do want to get all 4 of these eventually anyway. I might as well just get it early to get it out of the way. Okay, he needs... Let's see, this is just a passive skill that makes him... it just improves shield defense, but we might as well grab it. There we go, play. All done, so let's check these other rooms. Just for loot, the Darkspawn in here have already run out to help in that previous battle, which is why that previous battle was so tricky. One thing you will notice as a mage, spell slots down the bottom in your quick bar. They are very vital, and you can quickly run out of rooms. You're going to have to decide what you want to keep down here and what you can put away. For example, I'm never going to use herbalism, so I'll probably get rid of that at some point. But anyway, for now I don't need the space, so we'll just leave it as is. But it is a problem you'll really realise as a mage. Warriors get a lot more passive skills, so they are not in such an issue. As you can see, Alistair only has the 4 slots here, so plenty of room if I want to chuck some potions down here, which I'm actually going to do, just in preparation for a battle coming up. I should probably do the same to those guys as well. They can just have the lesser ones. Those two. I normally don't bother, but I do know that there is a tough fight coming up soon, so we'll do those just in case I want one. Okay, kind of cold this, I think. Oh, well, that was a mistake. I froze my own guys. Brilliant. That was, I'm going to blame the camera for that one. I thought I was aiming at the Darkspawn, apparently not. Okay, they've unfrozen now, it just means I didn't free these guys like I wanted to in the first place.
On your guard! It's either you or me, and it isn't gonna be me. On it. How about you?
Right, man. Attack!
Okay. Despite my mishap with Cone of Cold, that battle was fairly easy. Let's just loot these bodies and then we will go up to what I believe is the last floor.
Right.
Okay, few things I want to do before we go up. Let us deactivate Spellmight and activate Frost Weapons. I actually think that's going to be more helpful in the fight to come. Because what that does is, since I'm with 3 fighters, all of their swords are going to be dealing extra damage, so that's just a good time instead of just my occasional spells. Alright, I don't think there's anything else I need to do. I might just check them for injuries. This guy has a couple. I don't really care about his cunning. Wrenched limb, however, is pretty bad. That's attack speed. Okay, I've got plenty of injury kits, so I might as well use them on him. Let's see what that cured. So a lesser injury kit just cures one. The more powerful versions will cure more than one. Yeah, got rid of the skull, of the cracked skull first. So let's just do this. And use the second one on him. There we go. Okay. Now, in terms of items, do I need to equip anything? I don't really think so. One thing I might do, I believe one of these guys uses a crossbow. Since I have some bolts, I'll give them to him. I'm not going to use them anyway, so he might as well have them. Okay, but otherwise I do think I've kind of got the best stuff equipped. Now, this battle can be extremely hard. This ogre is a very tough enemy. Your best bet is to try and, if you like me, you've got some frost spells, your best chance is to try and freeze him. And then let the warriors kind of deal damage to him. But he is very tough. If you are not playing a mage, I do think he's harder. And your best chance there is to use the mage the game gives you at the start. To that mage, I believe, has the spell Paralyze, which you can kind of do the same thing with. Try and paralyze the ogre and let everyone else attack him. But it is very challenging, or it can be anyway. As you can see, I'm kind of dealing with him here, but that's because my mage is kind of helping to keep him under control. The other thing you want is that the minute one of these guys dies, you have no way to revive him. So that's just going to make everything a lot harder. And so the key is try and just heal them up as they need it. Don't let them get too low either, because the ogre does have a finishing move that will basically take any of these guys out instantly if he uses it when they're at low health. There he is, there he's using it on, I think that's Alistair. Yes, it is. So what we want to do is try and freeze him, which knocks him out of that. If I didn't do that, he would basically kill Alistair, and there'd be nothing else I could do about it. There we go, and he's down. So it's manageable, you just do have to be careful when you're fighting him. And I think use whatever mage you've got. If you're playing a mage, great. If not, use the unnamed mage that kind of joins your party.
The beacon is over here. We've surely missed the signal. Let's light it quickly before it's too late.
Salute the ogre. He does have Harvard's Aegis. Make sure to grab that. As well as a rune and some money. Yeah, the Aegis has a codex entry. So let's have a look at our codex before we deal with the beacon. Actually, first, I'm just going to have a search around. I think there's a couple of items you can grab. Yep, there's some barrels over here. Iron ring, not great. Tribal necklace, that was the other thing I wanted. That's another gift you can give someone. Okay, let's look at this journal. So, creatures. Ogre. Towering over their darkspawn kin, the massive ogres are a rare sight on the battlefield. Traditionally, they only appear during a blight, but some records claim that ogres have been spotted in the deep roads hunting alone or in small groups. At least one report by the Grey Wardens claims that an ogre was spotted alone in the Korcari Wilds in 919 Dragon, though it was weakened and easily dispatched. Up to 100 of these creatures can accompany a darkspawn horde at any one time during a blight, often using their great strength to burst through fortifications and demolish the front lines of opposing army. They use brute force to charge their enemies like bulls, slam the ground with their fists to shake enemies off their feet, and hurl giant rocks into the face of oncoming foes. Melee can be difficult against a giant that snatches a warrior up in one hand, crushing the life out of him, or beating him into oblivion with the other hand. The nimble can try to wiggle his way free, or an ally can attempt an array of stunning blows to an ogre to free the comrade in danger. Grey Warden lore urges caution when slaying an ogre. Unless it is ensured that they have received a major wound to the head or to the heart, it is possible that they are lying dormant and will regenerate to full health within a matter of minutes. During a blight, most Grey Wardens recommend burning all Darkspawn to ashes, dead ogres in particular. And as you can see, we actually did this during the battle when the ogre grabbed Alistair. Says here, an ally can attempt an array of stunning blows. We froze the ogre, which had the same effect. But it released Alistair from its grip. Okay, the item we grabbed, Havard's Aegis. Havard was Mephareth's closest friend. They were children together in the same Avar clan. They fought side by side in so many battles that Mephareth dubbed him Havard the Aegis, better to have at his side than any shield. Mephareth brought Havard with him to meet with the Tevinter. It was unthinkable to stand before his enemies without his Aegis. When he understood that Mephareth was giving Andraste over to be executed, Havard, unwilling to draw swords against his friend and liege, placed himself between Andraste and the Tevinter soldiers. The Tevinters struck him down, and Mephareth left him for dead. But Aegis was not so easily destroyed. Havard lived and made his way, gravely wounded, to the gates of Minrathous to stop the execution. Too late. He found only the ashes of the prophet, left to the wind and rain. When his fingers touched the ash, his ears filled with song, and he saw a vision of Andraste dressed in cloth or starlight. She knelt at his side, saying, "Rise, Aegis of the faith, the Maker shall never forget you, so long as I remember." His wounds healed instantly, and, with new strength, Havard gathered up Andraste's remains and carried them safely back to the lands of the Elamari. There we go, some interesting lore about the shield we just picked up. Okay, that is everything here, so save. If you want to, you can come here and take the gear of Unnamed Guard 1 and Unnamed Guard 2. I'm not really going to bother, none of it's that special, but you can if you want to, especially if you've actually given them some items out of your own inventory that you want to keep. Because, spoiler alert, we're about to lose them. I've swapped back over to my human noble character again. I want to show you what the fight with the ogre looks like if you just continue controlling your main character like normal, if you're not playing a mage. And I do strongly recommend using the mage for this, so if we have a look at him just before the battle, so once we go through that door it'll be the ogre fight time. He's got Arcane Bolt, Flame Blast, Weakness, Flaming Weapons, Lightning, Arcane Shield, and Paralyze. So of these, some really good spells for this fight. Paralyze can paralyze the ogre, freeze it in place, and then you can hit it with Lightning Bolt, Flame Blast, or Arcane Bolt. So that is a good way to deal with it, but I've just got my Sword and Shield character here, you know, with their skills, Shield Pummel and Shield Bash are the main ones I'm using, along with the Sustained Ability Shield Defense. So let's see how this goes if I'm just controlling my main character. And I'm kind of doing this just as a showcase, because I know my instinct whenever I'm playing this game is just to use my main character and not to bother with my swapping over to a companion, even when it makes more sense. But doing it this way actually changes this ogre fight quite a lot. As you can see, my main character, as well as Alistair and the dog, are just getting knocked over, we're getting thrown around, already need to heal. And the tactics of the mage is just pretty basic. I don't think I've ever seen him use Paralyze on his own, for example. And I mean, we are damaging the ogre, but it's certainly being a lot harder than I think that it was for my mage character. And I actually think that the ogre's changed his tactics to target the mage, just because it's dealing a lot more damage than myself or Alistair are. Because it keeps knocking us down, so we are barely getting a chance to attack, whereas the mage, being a ranged character, is actually getting a few turns to hit. And yes, and you know, I could have healed up my dog, I can heal up the mage, so I could win this fight. Like, we are whittling it down, but it feels a lot less consistent. Both the mage and the dog are now dead. Alistair's almost there, and that would just leave me with this ogre. You know, and let's actually try and win the fight, so I'll heal him up and heal myself up. But you can see that this fight was a lot less consistent than what we did when I was using my mage character. And now that the mage is dead, am in a slight bit of trouble, but we should be able to do this, I think. And in fact, we've actually been kind of lucky he hasn't grabbed anyone and tried to kill them, because that would be an instant kill. I think we might be about to see it though. Maybe. No, there we go, took him out. So you can manage it doing it that way. Far less consistent though. And there we go, we get the cinematic kill as well, which is always nice. I feel I should also mention this would probably be quite different if I was a rogue, because I would have significantly less armor and health, so I'd probably be less able to help Alistair tank hits, which I think is why that went alright, even though we certainly got knocked around a little bit. But anyway, back on to the main part of the episode. Okay, let's come here and light the beacon.
Sound the retreat.
But what about the king? Should we not...
Do as I command.
Pull out! All of you, let's move!
Ah, your eyes finally open. Mother shall be pleased.
What happened to the Darkspawn?
You were injured, and then Mother rescued you. Do you not remember?
Wait, what happened to the army, to the king?
The man who was to respond to your signal quit the field. The Darkspawn won your battle. Those he abandoned were massacred. Your friend, he is not taking it well.
My friend? You mean Alistair?
The suspicious dim-witted one who was with you before, yes. He is outside by the fire. Mother asked to see you when you awoke.
I will go then.
I will stay and make something to eat.
So that is a rather grim start to the game. Not only do the other Grey Warden recruits die, but then Loghain betrays everyone and leaves the king and Duncan and their army to be slaughtered. And that's kind of how we start the game. So let's have a quick look. I'm going to end the episode in a minute. I'll just check out these achievements we just received. So Last of the Wardens is for completing Ostagar, which we have now done. The other one is Resilient for completing Ostagar without the main character ever falling in battle. Like I said, I am going to try to be getting all of these throughout the game, because there is one, I think there's 2 more of them. One for doing it before another quest later in the game, and then one for completing the game without falling in battle. So we'll try and do those, but we'll see how we go. The other thing I'll do before we go any further is just a codex entry. There's a couple of them here. These are just updates for the most part. So King Kaelin just says he fell in battle alongside Duncan at Ostagar. Sir Corthrian, now she is Loghain's second in command, so we saw her during the cutscene there. Some of us know what honour and loyalty are. Corthrian came to Loghain's service the hard way. She belonged to a poor family and was out doing work on the farm when she saw a man on horseback being attacked by several bandits. She rushed to his assistance and found out belatedly that the man she saved was none other than the great hero Loghain. Though she was hardly more than a child, he took her in, offering her a position with his soldiers, and she climbed through the ranks through sheer determination. Becoming the commander of Marik's Shield, Loghain's elite soldiers, was the proudest moment of her life. Duncan there, he was killed in battle against overwhelming numbers of Darkspawn at Ostagar alongside King Kaelin. And then Loghain MacTair. During the battle at Ostagar, he fled the field, leaving King Kaelin and the Grey Wardens to die. Okay, some rather grim additions there. And we will have to see where the game takes us next. So that is all for today, so thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.